But one of the hurdles for adopting cryptocurrencies is that it's so hard to use. For some people, it's so complicated. Connecting, transferring money, what's this address? Do I need to use a QR code? How do I copy paste this? What happens if I make a mistake in one letter for this particular wallet address? What Near Protocol does is that the addresses are human readable, which makes it easier to transfer and somehow maybe memorize as well. And it's not as intimidating. I think that's one very, very good way to push this towards mass adoption. Hey guys, so as you've seen in the previous videos that my focus, at least for 2021, are the metaverse, gaming related tokens, NFTs, and also L1 blockchains, particularly because there's so much competition in this space and everyone is gunning for the place of Ethereum. And I've talked about Polkadot, I've talked about Solana, even Terra and Avalanche. And for this video, I want to talk about Near Protocol, which has rose up the ranks. By the time I'm making this video, it's now the 16th largest cryptocurrency with a market cap of 11.4 billion US dollars. So my style in the cryptocurrency market is that since it's so new, I always treat it in the same way as I would treat investing in startups, that roadmaps are good, implementation of the roadmaps are amazing, reading the white paper is all good. But at the end of the day, it rises and falls also on who the people behind it are. So I want to start this video talking about who are the founders of Near Protocol and why they actually started it. Near Protocol was founded by Eric Trotman. He's an entrepreneur with experience on Wall Street and he's a founder of Viking Education. Part of his team is Leopold Sukin, who has about a decade's worth of experience in the technology space. To round up their team, they have Alexander Skidanov, who's a computer scientist that has experience in Microsoft and MemSQL. What's interesting about that is that their core team have vast experience in technology, which is very, very important because at the end of the day, cryptocurrencies is evolving, changing, and very, very fast. And you want people who are knowledgeable, not just in the theoretical side, but who have actually done it in the technological space so that they can adapt. Part of their team also is that they have an amazing team of experienced developers that are gold medalists in the International Collegiate Programming Contest. So their team is made up with a good core of technology people, plus a lot of developers who have won various awards. Now, that being said, let's talk about Near as a blockchain. Similar to what we've been talking about for Ethereum, Near is another L1 blockchain. But what makes it very, very interesting is that it's a community-run cloud computing platform, which at the end of the day is trying to resolve a lot of the problems and limitations of the older and more traditional L1 blockchains, which is basically low transaction speeds, low throughput, and poor interoperability. And what's interesting about that now, what I've been seeing also in the newer L1 blockchains that are trying to be developed is that there's a big focus on interoperability. I think the more interoperable the blockchain, it would be easier also for the dApps that would be built around it. So this is a very, very interesting focus for Near Protocol. Near uses Nightshade technology. The main goal of Nightshade technology is there to increase its throughput massively. As what I've mentioned earlier, the goal of Near to somehow address a lot of the issues of the earlier protocols or the earlier L1 blockchains. Nightshade basically is a variation of sharding, which I've mentioned this, which will be a feature also of ETH 2.0, which basically is a technical way to say that validators will run in parallel, and since they're running in parallel, you could run and validate multiple transactions across different sharded chains. And what it does is, if you have a lot of transactions being validated parallel across sharded chains, it increases the overall capacity of the blockchain as a whole. The main difference though of the Nightshade type of sharding is that the shards in Nightshade produce a fraction of the next block called chunks. Because of the Nightshade sharding compared to regular sharding, it allows Near Protocol to process 100,000 transactions per second, which is very, very fast. And because of that, it allows instant transaction finality. Because of its 1 second block cadence. All of this is happening while it's keeping transaction fees very, very close to zero. We do know that there's a lot of adoption that's going on, but one of the hurdles for adopting cryptocurrencies is that it's so hard to use. For some people, it's so complicated. Connecting, transferring money, what's this address? Do I need to use a QR code? How do I copy paste this? What happens if I make a mistake in one letter for this particular wallet address? What Near Protocol does is that the addresses are human readable, which makes it easier to transfer and somehow maybe memorize as well, and it's not as intimidating. I think that's one very, very good way to push this towards mass adoption. And couple that with them using the best of how decentralized applications have been working over the past few months and years. So they're using the same concept of decentralized application, but using human readable addresses, which makes it easier for people to actually get into the system. And this doesn't just help end users. Their modular components allows it easier also even for developers to be easily onboarded into their system. Now let's talk about tokenomics. Near Protocol is the blockchain. Its native token is Near. Its current circulating supply is 613,537 Near, while its maximum supply is about 1 billion Near. So what's interesting about this is there's a max supply, and I'm a fan of cryptocurrencies and tokens that have a max supply as compared to something that can just be inflated and be printed over and over. Let's do a deeper dive on its 1 billion max supply and how is it actually distributed. Out of that 1 billion, 7.2% will go to community grants, 11.4% would go to operation grants, 10% would go to the foundation's endowment, 11.7% will go to the early ecosystem, 14% goes to core contributors, 17.6% would go to the backers of the project, 6.1% would also go to the backers but the smaller backers of the project, and you have 12% which is available as part of their community sale. So in terms of token inflation, 5% of the supply is issued per year to support the network rewards, and 90% of that, around 4.5% of what's given out as tokens is given to the validators, and the remaining 0.5% or the remaining 10% is allocated to the treasury. Now in terms of transaction fees, 30% of the transaction fees are paid out as rebates to contracts that interact with the transaction, while the remaining 70% are burned. It's so important that you go for cryptos and tokens that it's not just purely just a medium of exchange, but there are certain uses for it, because this is my opinion that above and beyond Bitcoin, the other tokens, the main value driver for it is its usage. The more use it has, the more utility it has, the more value it actually gives people. Now that being said, here are the use cases or utility for Near token. Number one, running transactions and storing data. Number two, running validator nodes on the network via staking Near tokens. And number three, use for governance votes to determine how network resources are allocated. What's Near Protocol's consensus mechanism? Near Protocol, like a lot of newer L1 blockchains, are using a proof of stake consensus mechanism, but they have their own variation called Doomslug. Doomslug is based on 2 rounds of consensus, where the block is considered finalized as soon as it has received the first communication of the round. So what's interesting about that is it allows near instant finality by having validators take turns producing blocks rather than competing and vying for the rewards from a single stake. At the higher end of its price range, and the fact that it's in the top 20 largest cryptocurrencies means that its market cap is relatively larger and relatively bigger. And please do remember this, that anytime the market cap is bigger, it becomes heavier for it to actually push up. And if you try to look at it also, I'll include also Polygon here, because even though Polygon is not an L1 blockchain, it's a layer 2 scaling solution. They partially do somehow similar functions. By the time I'm recording this, Near Protocol at number 16 is at 11 billion US dollars. Polygon is around 16.1 billion US dollars. Then the next one is number 12 already. You have Avalanche, which is around 21 billion US dollars. Then you have Polkadot at 25 billion US dollars. Then you have Terra, Luna, which is around 27 billion US dollars. Then you have Cardano at 41 billion. Then Solana at 44 billion. BNB at 78. Then the big dog, Ethereum, at 384 billion. These other L1 blockchains and even Polygon are its lid. How near performs will determine which of these market caps it also attacks. From where we are right now, should it try to attack, say, Polygon, it's a 5 billion market cap swing. If it tries to go after Avalanche, it's a 10 billion market cap swing. If it tries to go for Polkadot, it's a $14 billion swing as well. So please do note also that no matter how much I discuss it here, please do your own due diligence as you analyze different tokens, cryptos, and even L1 blockchains. Because at the end of the day, don't listen to what I say, don't listen to what other channels or television programs would tell you. At the end of the day, do your own research. It's your money, it's your responsibility. No one will work harder for your money more than you. That's why you need to take the time to learn. You need to take the time to get better at this. You need to take the time to research, because at the end of the day, that's what will make you a better and wiser investor. If you want to learn more about cryptocurrencies, we have tons of videos in the description. If you want to trade cryptocurrencies, we have options on exchanges that you can open right now from your phone or from your laptop. And you can also invest in the US stock market for $1 only. For those who want to learn how to trade technical analysis, we have a pre-recorded Zoom course that you can join us with. Check it out down below. And for those who want to read my books, which talks about investing, which talks about the stock market, we have that available via Shopee and Lazada as well. I guess that's it. If this is something that helped you, like, share, subscribe, and if you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to be able to answer your questions as well. So that's it for now. This is marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.